The truth about network marketing. This is David here, David DK from Lagos, Nigeria. Let's dive in quickly. First of all, I like to start this one off with the catch no one talks about. So people always ask, what's the catch? If you're a business inclined person, you always want to know what the catch is because there's always a risk. Yes, and you're correct. There's always a risk. So, what is the catch in network marketing? There's just one. You must accept a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. These are the exact words of Eric Worre, who is a champion in the industry right now. He is the owner of GoPro. This is what it is. You see, the real risk, uh, this is what the real risk is. It is, are you willing to put your esteem on check for a while, on, will I say, on scrutiny for a while? Like I said, it's temporary. When I started off network marketing, it looked like I was very foolish. I felt so bad. I spoke with a couple of friends, and it was like, oh, it was demeaning at some point. But you know the funny thing right now, many of those friends want to join me right now, and it's good. Even though some of them are not yet and not pull themselves through it yet, through to just make a decision too. And I know that in future many other people will. Truth is, it's just a while because people do not know it. I don't mean ignorant here to insult anybody actually, but people don't know what it is, and people generally run away from things they don't know, and it's normal. It's normal to be scared of things you don't know. And that is actually what the real risk is. You see, let me talk about this in this point. So, some people that are professionals, they want to build the business. Okay, let's assume you're a medical doctor. I think I've spoken about this before. You're a medical doctor, for instance, and you want to build a business. You want to represent a company, but you hide under the shadow, say your wife, and say it's your wife's business. You don't want to represent it, yet you want the maximum benefit from it. You're joking. You must put your integrity online. And you must defend it. That's actually what business is. You can't do business without being all in. Sometimes you just want the cake and the icing without the whole work. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all. It's just all in. It's just what it is. And now people think that this is unfair. But I think it's quite fair. Now this is why I think it's quite fair. Do you know what it means to stay within a year and literally go from being broke to being very wealthy without having a lot of money to start a business? Building something from your home, having your time within a year. Because if you have I'll show you some things later on about what makes create success. If you have all of those things set, you can do that within a year. The question I want to ask is, do you think that it is fair that you make as much money as you make, or make as much money as network marketing makes? It's not fair. The same way this scrutiny and this fight is not fair as well. It's just what it is. This is more or less like what we have to give for the success network marketing brings. In my opinion, is worth every dime. It's worth every dime in my opinion. So let's move on. Let me not spend too much time on it. So now let's go to the truth. First of all, I like the way I started with this. There are a good number of failed companies in network marketing. Yes, a lot of companies have failed. A lot of people are scammed. In fact, I was looking at the crypto world, and I'm looking at crypto adopting word of mouth advertisement so much to push all this something the term they call them now. I'm not for or against it, except if you ask my personal opinion, which I never give on a public what's it called, audience. But the point I want you to get is, some of these companies have come and have failed. Okay, now people now say that people now attach their failure to the industry or to the profession, whereas it shouldn't be. In my own opinion, I think that the very fact that some people tried and failed proves to me that it works. How? You say simple. You can't have a fake. Let me bring out a bill first so that I'll show you a bill. Let me push a Naira bill. So let's say you have this. This is a 200 Naira bill, wherever you are in Nigeria. This is a 200 Naira bill. You can have a fake of this without having an original to copy. Does that make sense? You can't have fake without an original. So for you to counterfeit something, you have to have something that you're counterfeiting. It's called counterfeiting because you have to counterfeit something. Does that make sense? So for the very fact that we have said some people have come and have failed, first of all, there are two angles to it, but the angle I like to see it from is that they tried to copy the system, they didn't do it well, and that's why they were failed. That's why they were shut down by FTC. But that makes a lot of sense to say that Some people are doing it well. That's what they're trying to copy. Okay. Now there are so many other reasons why people fail, because they did some things that overshot them. They were not properly managing their companies and blah blah blah. I'll talk about that when I'm talking about companies later on. Red flags. I'll give you a lot of red flags to know so that you don't have to fall into all of those things, because there are so many of them that are red flags. It's quite easy to know the red flags. I'll show you the red flags. So you don't now hinge the whole success of the profession, quote unquote, on a bad company. Okay, some companies will be bad, some companies are bad. There will still be many more that will try and fail. It's what it is. But to me, it suggests to me that many people are still trying out the model. Many people are trying out the model. Many people are not getting it. They're trying to copy it. Some people are fraudulent about it, and I know that. And those people, don't worry, the FTC will get to them eventually. Even in our company itself, we have some people that still take it like, well, I don't know. Those ones, even our company is not smiling with them. So I want you to see it like that. I want you to understand what that is. So what does it take? Mad personal development. In fact, let me just keep my mouth shut. Consistent time commitment. Good company. Okay. Yes, your company is very, very important. The success of your network marketing business is hinged so much on your company. A workable system. I'm going to explain that. Good support system. In short, you must decide to go professional. Like I explained, professional and amateurs. Even if it's $100 you want, you must decide to go in. You must decide to go out and get it. Okay, you can't play this game as an amateur. Especially if you want the millions. If you just want a couple of bucks, you can just do a little thing for a little while and you get your couple of bucks and get out. But if you want the millions in it, don't think you're going to come and get millions on the skill level of an amateur. No, like I always say, network marketing is for anybody. Okay, but not everybody makes the money. And people that make the money are the people that decide to develop the skills that are needed in the industry. Simple as that. Now, what is personal development? First thing I'd like to let you know is that you don't know how to make it work. I don't know how to say this. Even if you are a business tycoon, you do not know how to make network marketing work, and that is as factual as it gets. Now, I'm sorry to say it like this, but until you're in, you don't know how to make it work. It is very different. It is very different from traditional business. Now, the good thing with somebody that has been in business for years is that the personal development that people like, for instance, myself, had to go through, he won't go through that, because if you're an entrepreneur already, you've gone through all of those mad personal developments already. Like I always say, this is an entrepreneurial journey. And every entrepreneur that is successful must have personal development. Things like, let me just leave that for now. So he has gone through that. So because of that, you might have a little edge. You might have like a head start. Okay? But if you think that you have the skills enough to make network marketing work without having prior experience in it, it's a lie. You do not. I don't know how else to tell you. In fact, there's a rule that if you want to be successful, you recruit. So say you recruit a very strong entrepreneur. As an upline, you must emphasize to your entrepreneur that he does not know how to make it. Now, it's not necessary to insult him, but if they do not put down what they think they know, or if you do not put down what you think you know, you will think that it works, and then you try the way you want to, and you either make one or two things. You either flop in like the industry etiquette, you either break a lot of rules, or you won't make a result and you blame it on network marketing, whereas you didn't listen. That's true. The truth is you didn't listen. You didn't learn how to build the business. That's what it is. So believe in yourself. Now this is massive. You must believe that you can pull this through, and trust me, you can. You can. You can. I have seen the lowest of people pull this off. I've seen people that cannot talk, cannot speak English, pull this off. I've seen people that just had a great experience pull this off. I'm pretty sure you can. I know you can. Now get the right mindset. That's all of what I'm trying to do. You have to get the right mindset on two things. Understand what makes the business work. And this is for really those of you that think you can without having prior experience and you're trying to run it solo. You don't run network marketing solo. It's a teamwork. It's teamwork. If you run it solo, you'll be frustrated. You will succeed, but you'll be frustrated. Trust me, you'll be frustrated for a couple of years. Understand what makes the business work. You have to understand what makes the business work. You have to understand, and then you have to channel desperation. Now, initially, I rather that if you're coming into my team and what's it called? And you have no money, I rather that you just get something that can keep you up for 3 months. Because I know that in 3 months is enough time. I'm going to talk about time commitment soon. It's enough time to make good results. But if you're completely broke and desperate, sometimes you can use that in two ways. You can use that to make you can use that channel. You can channel that energy to do the wrong things. You'll be so desperate that you'd become salesy and cheesy. You could do a lot of things that will make you hurt your family and friends. You could tell some lies. You could exaggerate. Let me not say tell some lies, but basically you could exaggerate. You could exaggerate, which is not good, and that will kill the business. The second way is you could channel it. Let me give you an example. Yesterday I was on my way when I plugged in a podcast, and I want to pick the story from the podcast. So a woman did shot a video. A mother shot a video of herself in the grocery store, the supermarket, trying to get some things. I think it was a supermarket, yes. And in the video, she was like, "My fridge right now is very empty. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what else to do. So I just got on upline is just I just got on. I decided to put my oil in and sell some products. And right now, I have $300 that I'm going to fill this cart with. I'm basically paraphrasing. Say I have about $300 and I'm going to use to fill this cart with. I don't know if you understand the weight of that. She was carrying her baby saying that. Do you understand what it means to say that you have children and you don't have how to feed them? And then you try to pull some things off, and within a short period of time, you're able to pull off $300, which is a good amount, which is good enough to feed you. It's good money to feed you. Now, that was desperation, but it pushed her to do the work. She didn't go about lying about it. So what that desperation pushed her to do is she had already had a team which had a system. She just worked the system and put a lot of her efforts into it. So all the laziness died, all the indiscipline died. That could work for you in the right way. That's what I mean by right mindset. Okay? And you must channel it in the right way. It's very important. You must define your motives and goals. Why do you want this? For that lady, it was to feed her family. That was all that was important. What do you want from it? Do you want to just pay? Do you want just $100? Define it. What is your goal? For me, the best goal to set is that you replace if you have an income, you replace your current earning part-time first. That's one of my first goals. I think that's one of the same goals ever. It makes a lot of sense to do that, especially if you're working and you're doing this part-time. If you're full-time, you should define what your goals are. Feed off positivity. Now, I don't know how else to say this. The truth is, there's a lot of negativity. In fact, the statistics is about 98. The ratio is 98 to 2. Okay? 98 out of every 100 people will discourage you. All into wood. What I want you to learn to do is you must feed on the 2. And you must learn to take your bath. I think that's the best way to explain it. So, wake up in the morning. You don't say, because I had my bath yesterday, I'm not going to have my bath today. You have your bath afresh. Because you know that you would have taken on a lot of debt between the last time you had your bath. Even if you had your bath in the night. Okay, even if you had your bath in the night, you still come the next morning and you take a bath again. Because you know that you'd have accumulated a lot of debt alongside. You want to wash it. You want to be clean every morning. That's one of the best things you need. Feed off positivity. You need to keep churning on positivity. Is important. Build integrity. Now, this is important. Integrity, our business is built on integrity. People are trusting your words, are taking you by your words when they make a purchase. So it's very hard for people that have had very, very bad previous experiences. Okay, say everybody knows you to be a liar, for instance, or people don't trust your word, or people don't see you as a responsible person. It's not so easy. In that case, that's why I put this integrity here. You have to establish in your mind. You have to let yourself know that I want to build integrity. I have to build integrity. I have to be a man of my word. I have to say what I mean and do what I say. And all of it. Discipline, there's need for more discipline. You see, this thing is something that people take lightly. You know, when you're working under a boss, your boss puts you under pressure to do the things he wants you to do. When you're working under yourself, sometimes we forget to be the boss. Okay? So wake up and do things quite lax. Before I started shooting this series of videos this evening, I was feeling so lazy. But I didn't have an option. Okay? I didn't have an option. Before I started uploading the videos, I was also feeling I was quite lazy. I was just shooting the videos. Let me shoot the videos and put it on. But I set a time to upload the videos. And I know that if I start uploading the videos, even if I have not finished shooting all the videos, I'll be forced, because I want to deliver. I want to deliver my best. I'll be forced to do the work that I need to do to shoot my videos. Does that make sense? You must learn to be your boss. It's not as easy as it sounds. Most times it's easier when you have a mentor, because they push you. You need somebody to still push you. You need somebody to tell you what to do and you get it done. Now, it's not necessarily like if you don't do it, the person will sack you. That's the difference. But you must learn it. It's like learning a trade. You must learn it. You must learn to be disciplined. You must learn to do the things you say you do. You must learn what you need to do and you must do it. Okay, so that's how it gets. Persistent. Now, there's nothing as golden as this. There's nothing as golden as this. There's nobody that makes money anywhere that is when he decides to quit. Even in traditional business. Like I always say, I'm into traditional business too. I own traditional business too. So I understand what a traditional business looks like. And I know why network marketing is beautiful. Traditional business, if you're not persistent, you will not pull through the challenges that come. Why do you think it's going to be any different in network marketing? This is what people sell. They sell a lie of easy money, quick growth. It's not true. It's not true at all. There are challenges. Now, if you work, I'm going to show you how to surmount this. If you work with a system and work with a team, the challenges become easy to surmount because you're not doing it alone, you're doing it with people, and people most likely have gone through it. You just have to do exactly what they tell you to do. But you must be persistent. You must be persistent. You can't quit. That's why I think it brings me to my next point is you must do your homework. So I tell you to do this, you do it. Don't give me a better way to do it. You don't know a better way to do it. I don't know how to say this. You don't know a better way to do this. You know a better way to do it, you'll be making more money than me. If you're here to learn to make a network marketing business, you don't know a better way to do it. I know the better way to do it. Now, naturally, I always will say that you don't try new things until after about a year in your network marketing career. Because within your first year network marketing career, you should be learning and not inventing because you don't know enough to invent. And it's just true. You really don't know enough to invent. So it's better to find, that's why it's good to start with, I'm trying so hard not to jump the cat. Let me just move on. So many things I want to talk about that I should move on with it. In short, I want you to understand that you have to go all in. You have to go all in. There is no, what's it called? You can't give 20% of your effort and make network marketing work. It's 100%. 100% of your time is what it takes. It does not take some part of your time. You have to understand that. It's